case you're wondering why you're seeing me again this week, Amit is in mourning. He has his dentist has told him that he has to have a tooth extracted, so he is spending the last 2 days with his wisdom tooth before it goes away forever. So you have to put up with me again this week. Winter is a lovely time for vegetables. It's quite strange because winter is when you feel you can afford to eat all the meats because they're all heating stuff, so you want a nice, steaming hot mutton curry or a chicken curry or something, but the vegetables are, they're so beautiful and luscious and green. And summer, when you really want to need to eat vegetables, what do? You get lauki and tinda. Today we are cooking mustard greens. And no, I am not making sarson ka saag and makki ki roti, even though that is what mustard greens are most popularly known for. In the northeast and east, mustard greens are used for a variety of dishes, and we don't just cook them as the greens, we combine them with the non-vegetarian stuff. So you'll have them with chicken, you'll have them with pork, and today I'm cooking it with fish. The fish I'm using is rahu, which is carp. You can use other fish also if you like. I think ravas, which is the Indian salmon, should also go pretty well in this dish. And of course, if you're into small fish, then you have like a variety, a plethora of fish that you can use for this. Basically, you need fish that you can saute a little bit, so it needs to be scaled fish. The first thing I'm going to do is marinate the fish with a little salt and turmeric, which is what all Bengali preparations do with the fish, and leave it aside for around 10 minutes, just enough time for the fish to the flesh of the fish to soak in the salt. The mustard greens have already been picked. Basically, you take out the hard stalks, stems from it, and at this time of the year the mustard greens are really tender, so you don't need to pick them too much. Just wash them nicely and make sure that it's all clean and hygienic before you consume it. The other ingredients that are going into this dish are basically onions, tomato and potatoes. Somehow Eastern curries, especially fish and mutton and chicken, potatoes are like a constant. We love our potatoes. I don't know whether that's because it tastes good or whether it's because it just makes the dish go around more. But potatoes are an essential. Salt, turmeric and a little bit of red chili powder and ginger garlic paste. That is it, because you really want the taste of the mustard leaves to be the prominent thing in this dish. So you don't want to overload it with dhania and jeera and any other kind of spices. This whole thing is getting cooked in mustard oil. I guess mustard oil is really the best flavor for this preparation. If you like, you can probably, if you don't have mustard oil, of course, you can use regular oil, but I would suggest that try and get a little mustard oil to make this dish in. So you heat the mustard oil nicely till it's smoking, and then you saute the fish. I'm sauteing 6 pieces, out of which 2 I'm going to fry a nice dark deep brown, so that in case Amit decides he doesn't want to experiment with my lai shak fish, then he can just have his fried fish and dal for lunch. The fish that I'm sauteing for the curry, for the fish curry, is just going to be a light golden brown, and I don't want to overcook it because then the flesh tends to get a little hard. Just light golden brown, that's it, and you take it out of the oil, wait till Amit Mehra's fish gets fried, and then in that same oil we add the onions. Once the onions are nice and golden, add the ginger garlic paste, mix it around, fry it for around 3 to 5 minutes till that raw kind of aroma goes away. Then add the potatoes. The potatoes will take time to cook up, so let it start gently cooking along with the onions and the ginger garlic paste. You can cover it and leave it for a little while. Once you've added the potatoes, you also add a little salt and turmeric and red chili powder. Let it all cook. Then once that fries up for say around 2 to 3 minutes, add the tomatoes. And if you notice, the tomatoes are in chunks because you don't really need to spend too much time cutting them into small bits or pureeing them or anything of that sort, because in any case in the oil and with the salt they'll all get squished up. I don't know what it is about tomatoes these days, but they don't taste the same and they don't cook the same either. I mean, earlier you put tomatoes into the oil and within a minute they'd be like squishy, and the taste was sweet and sour and nice and tangy. But nowadays that doesn't happen anymore. But anyway, the tomatoes get squished up in the oil, and that's when you add the lai saag. I don't remember either of my grandmothers cooking anything with lai saag. Maybe I was too young and didn't realize what they were cooking, but neither did my mom really, unless it was to make sarson ka saag. Maybe it's a northeast thing, and that is why, I discovered it later. But in the northeast, lai saag is used very commonly, and it goes very well with all kinds of things, whether it's fish or chicken or meat. And even by itself, you don't always have to make sarson ka saag. You can, just add it as flavoring to your potato curry or to a soup or a salad even. So you put the lai saag in and just cover it. You don't need to stir it. In fact, I'd suggest that you don't, because otherwise it'll spill out of the pan. Just cover it and let it wilt in the heat for a minute or so, and then after that you can stir it. And after 1 minute of the saag being in the pan, when you take the lid off, and oh my god, the aroma just hits you. It is such an appetizing smell, I can't tell you. It's really one of the best flavors that I've ever had. Lai saag's become a favorite of mine ever since I sort of discovered it as a grown-up. And I add it to all sorts of things. I make stews with it, and I'll share some of these recipes with you later on. But it's really yummy. And so the lai saag is done, and you just place your fish back into the pan and add a little water and shut the lid and let it simmer for around 5 minutes or so that the flavors of the saag, that mustard tanginess, gets into the fish as well. And you have mustard fish, but with the leaves, not with the paste. I think Amit is going to like this dish, much as he is pretending to be very, grumpy and mournful, so to speak. And it is a perfect winter day lunch. You just serve it with some nice hot steaming rice, and with the lai saag and the fish and the potato, and that's it. You don't need anything else. Hopefully next week Junior Chef would have lost some weight, 0.5 grams, which is probably what his tooth weighs, and maybe he would have gained some wisdom and some brand new recipe to share with you. So till then, bon appetit.